Okay, so let's get to the point straight away. On 19th of May, Airtel launched something called Priority 5G. What it does is that it basically prioritizes the postpaid users over prepaid users. So if you're on postpaid plans, you will get an experience which is far more superior and far more consistent than prepaid users. But the question is, does it actually make any big difference? And if it does, what's the actual tech behind this? And most importantly, is this even fair? Well, I have clear-cut answers for the first two questions, but for the third one, I have a really dark theory. Let me explain. So I have these two phones with me. Both of them are the same phones, the iPhone 17. One has the Airtel prepaid SIM inside and the other one has the postpaid SIM inside. And as you can see, the postpaid is clearly showing Airtel priority and priority is in caps. The first thing that we did is run speed test at 5 different spots in our office. We did it in cafeteria, shoot area, terrace, basement and even in the basement lift. And the results were kind of mixed. See, in shoot area, in basement and in lift, prepaid was actually giving better download speeds compared to postpaid, but in cafeteria and even on the terrace, postpaid was winning. And when it comes to the upload speeds and the latency, the difference was quite negligible, nothing major I'd say. So in our office, the results were not very conclusive. Next thing we did is that we went to a more crowded area because Airtel says that postpaid users will get a much better experience even when the traffic demand is high. So we went to the nearby metro station and ran the speed test again. And here, the speed on postpaid was much better compared to prepaid. Both the upload and download speeds were better on postpaid, but the latency was better on prepaid. We ran this test multiple times and on 2 different metro stations, but the results were still quite similar. We also tried running this test on a busy traffic signal, and here also, postpaid was getting all the priority while prepaid was slower. And even when we played a YouTube video side by side, it played first on postpaid and then on prepaid. By the way, I also noticed something very interesting. Whenever postpaid was showing more bars than prepaid, the speed difference was huge. Like in our cafeteria, prepaid was showing only 2 bars, but postpaid was showing 4 bars and the download speeds were twice as much as prepaid. So after all the tests, it's quite clear that Priority 5G does make a difference, especially in crowded areas like airports, metro stations or even concerts. But in home or in office, it's pretty much the same whether you're on postpaid or prepaid, at least for now. Now the next question is, how does this even work? And to explain that, let me give you a bit of a background. See, when 5G rolled out in India, Jio set up fresh 5G towers throughout the country to give standalone 5G to their users, but Airtel did some cost cuttings there. Instead of setting up fresh 5G towers, they upgraded their existing 4G towers to support 5G. Now the problem with that is that 5G on Airtel was non-standalone, aka NSA 5G, but on Jio it was standalone from day one. Now since standalone 5G is the real 5G, Airtel had to upgrade their infrastructure sooner or later, and they started doing it in February this year. And because standalone 5G has this feature called network slicing, Airtel decided to put it to use. So now they can prioritize certain users for network, for speed and even for latency whenever required. And that's exactly what they are doing with Priority Postpaid. It's pretty much like visiting a temple when there's a huge crowd. In normal line, it might take you hours, but if you choose the VIP route, you will be done in just minutes. Similarly, for Priority Postpaid, they will always get the preference when the network is congested, and for prepaid users, it will always be comparatively slower. Now the final question is this even fair? Honestly, it's good for postpaid users because they are getting the priority now, but for prepaid users, it's not fair because they did not sign up for a slower and less reliable 5G. In fact, Jio has already been doing this, but it's restricted only to the enterprise users. It's still fine because regular users still get the same experience, but what Airtel is doing here is creating a clear divide between postpaid users and prepaid users, and that's the real problem. It's not the first time Airtel has tried something similar. They did the same in 2020 with Platinum 4G plan, but due to the net neutrality debate, Try had to step in and force them to roll it back. But now that network slicing is a feature of 5G, I'm not really sure if Try can do anything this time. And one more thing that I want to highlight is that the revenue from a postpaid user is much higher than a prepaid user. So naturally, Airtel is trying to create some solid differentiation between postpaid users and prepaid users so that more users can switch to the postpaid plan so that the revenue numbers can go up significantly. Just to give you some reference, the base prepaid plan starts at 379 rupees only, but the base postpaid starts at 449 rupees and there's also 18% GST on top of that. So for postpaid plan, you have to pay 530 rupees every month. But for prepaid, it's 379 rupees only. In simple words,
this is business.
So whether you like it or not, the line has been drawn between postpaid and prepaid users and it's here to stay. And the big problem is that both Jio and Vi will also be bringing the same very soon. And for BSNL, it might take some time. We never know. So yeah, that's it for this video. I really hope you found it useful, and if you did, please press that like button. It really means a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.